Don't forget, when Santa comes to your house, make sure you leave him a plate of cookies and some
Microjig, maker of the gripper. Work safer, work smarter.
Hey, guess what? It's time to start thinking about holiday projects. And you'll want to get started on this one as soon as you can, since it gets used in the days leading up to Christmas. Don't worry, you still have a little bit of time before you need to start panicking about those gift projects. I cut a bunch of these scrap boards down to length. Now I need to cut 11¼ degree bevels on two edges of most of these. Gluing all these strips together to form this curve is going to be tricky. I think the solution is just to glue together a couple at a time. I don't really have a good method for clamping these together. Even rubber bands would be awkward, but the weld bond does a pretty good job of holding boards together without clamps. A piece of tape might help a little. I need to glue together more boards to make wide enough panels for the door and the base. Of course I could use plywood for these and it'd be a lot easier, but I want to use up some of these small scraps of lumber. These pieces will be the door and then the back piece, and I want to cut it out to this shape, but I want there to be a lip around it, so I want to match this curve but about 1/4 inch bigger. I'll use this washer as a guide. I'll hold this flag in place with a screw. This week's episode is brought to you in part by Audible.com, and this month I'd like to recommend Charles Dickens, A Christmas Carol, performed by Tim Curry. This one was a lot of fun and would be a great book to download and listen with the whole family. We're all familiar with A Christmas Carol. You've probably seen it as a movie or saw the stage version. It's one of those stories that all comes alive based on the performers and the production. Tim Curry is just awesome. My favorite film of his, other than Rocky Horror, was his manic performance in Clue. So when I saw that he was performing A Christmas Carol, I just had to download it. He's just got one of those great narration voices that just brings so much to the story. Audible is such a great service. I listen to books all the time when I run or when I'm working in my shop. You can download A Christmas Carol or any other book free and get a free 30-day trial of Audible by going to audible.com/woodworking. And I'd like to thank you for supporting my sponsors who help make it possible for me to bring weekly videos to you. Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's project. If you'd like to make Santa's mailbox, I've got a free set of plans down in the description. I think little kids would have a lot of fun playing with it. They could mail a letter every day of the month and practice their writing skills. You could use it at a school or community event, maybe even at an office holiday party, or just make it to use as a fun holiday decoration for your home. If you haven't already done so, please take a moment to subscribe to Woodworking for Mere Mortals for new projects every Friday. Also, I want to welcome Alan from the Woodworking Junkie to my second channel, Home and Garden for Mere Mortals. He's going to be sharing money-saving home improvement tips with us. Check out his first video on HGMM and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so. All the links are down in the description. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next week.